Really? I ain't dealing with this for the rest of the night.
I want to apologize.
Well, I'll get with y'all tomorrow. That's cool. You want an apology? I'm here to give you one. Well, I mean, when you sit there and you call me, basically call me a pussy in front of everybody. Well, yeah. Uh, eh, well,
I mean, you want to know where my frustration starts? Watkins Glen. Because you made a comment. Come on, stop.
what
When
comment?
I tell you
What
not to jump up, that means
what
don't
comment
jump
did I
up.
make it? What did I make it?
I'm just cruising. That did not sit well with a lot of people.
What's up, Fluff?
I got a 13-second lead in the last few laps. Why am I going to push my car?
Don't make a comment while you're not trying. It's so easy for you that you can just cruise. You're so good because you can just cruise. There's a lot of people that aren't happy with that comment, including myself. And then you made another comment during the Sonoma race that pissed me off. Why the F did you put me in the F and PRL? Gee, I wonder why.
What? Well, why? Okay, so you didn't move C-Diz up when he won the truck title. You kept him in there. I win the BRL title over you losing connection that I probably would not have won that race had you been in there. I'll be
Doesn't matter
completely
if
honest
did.
with you.
You did. The championship means nothing to you. You could care less about it. You've made that very clear since you won it, that you don't care. If you had gotten a win at Sonoma tonight, you beat me by 25.9 seconds. And you asked, why would I be in a PRL?
Okay, well, why aren't you in the PRL? You just walked the dog on everybody in the other race. This past
Road
week.
courses aren't my specialty. I switched to manual. Did you think that I'd be that good at road courses? I thought for sure if I was lucky I'd win Mid-Ohio and that'd be it. Hopefully Road America too. I won 5 out of the 6. Do you think I expected to win Sonoma? You heard right there before I went in. I wanted to leave the track before we even went to it.
Okay.
I knew I wasn't going to be good.
All right, we won't talk about road courses. Okay, last year, our first year, you won more than majority of the races that we raced in. Me and everybody else who won races basically had to fight to win that race.
Do you not remember me running PRL last year? Do you not remember?
Yeah, but you also ran the BRL too. You ran both.
You're talking like I didn't run PRL. And Fluff, would you care to explain to Brandon what happened to me every single night in the PRL?
To be fair, you were a fill-in driver, but you get beat. Just as I did.
I didn't get beat, I got my ass whooped. Hardcore.
So did I.
Yeah. And look at Fluff now.
To be fair, I mean, you got 4 wins in a row at CRL, so.
Yeah, well, you think I planned that? I mean, one of them I got off strategy.
True.
But in defense of you making that statement, 3 of those 4 races were dominant performances.
Yeah.
Not one
to
race.
To be fair, that's why I got me.
Not one race have I ever went in, ever, whether you believe this or not, have I ever went in knowing that I'm going to walk the dog on everybody. I go in that race, in every race, knowing that, or expecting that I'm going to have at least a 6th place car, and I have...
Hold on 1 second. Hold, pause. What'd you say? Whose car?
He just said that he just watched Brandon's video.
Hold on, Fluff. Whose car? Why are they working on a race car at midnight? 11:30, I mean. These guys got a drag race car down here down the road from us, and apparently they're working on it.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. Racing never dies. Never stops to sleep.
Yeah, but it's 11:30, Fluff.
Hell, I would do it too. If I ain't got nothing else.
I'm not surprised. I believe that you would.
I'm saying what I would do. I mean, come on now.
That comment would have never even been made. The whole problem here, Brandon, is what you said to Ghost. You know, and Crow's like, well, if Ghost hadn't interfered, Ghost wasn't the one that said anything.
Ghost was the one that said.
It was Eric that brought it up. Were you not listening? So
all I heard.
Stop arguing. I'm trying to tell you if you'll listen. Eric spoke up and said, "Can you all stop arguing? I can't concentrate on racing." That's when I shut up. I put bolts in my mouth, didn't open my mouth. For the next 2 to 4 minutes, you went haywire. You went off. And yeah, Ghost spoke up. He's fucking defending his league. He's defending his fucking moderator. He's defending the series. Of course he's going to speak up.
I would have never went off had you basically not called me a pussy, to be honest with you.
You didn't go off until after Sunoco said that. That's what doesn't make sense.
Who
you
said
say
that?
But yet Eric Sunoco, who quit the leagues because of what you did. 2 drivers quit the race tonight because of what you did. And don't think I forgot about your comment at the end. I asked Star and Ghost what you said at the end because I need justification and verification of what you said.
Oh yeah,
Cash and checks will be talked about. Will be talked to.
Well, he didn't tell me to do it. I did that because y'all did that man wrong in that race.
How did we do him wrong?
Yeah, you don't get that man.
He bitches about everybody that runs him tight. He can do to you, but you can't do it to him.
When does he do that? Me and him bump and rub the whole race, and we joke and laugh about it because that's racing. He's never raced me like that.
And me. Brenda's and I do the same thing.
Off topic, what kind of drag car was it?
It's like a top fuel, but it's not a top fuel. It's got the long, huge front end.
Oh, okay.
Which you might laugh, but I call them tricycle wheels. That you put on the front because they're so small. But there's a big, you know how top fuel cars look?
Yeah.
Well, right behind the driver's seat, there's a huge space before the motor.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say maybe 3 to 4 feet worth of space before the motor. And that's kind of weird. So it's like, it looks like a top fuel, but it's not. I'm not sure what you call it. I guess they have a drag strip in Mooresville, I guess. I don't know if there is. Brandon would probably know before I would.
I don't know nothing about drag cars.
No, I'm talking about if there's a drag strip in Mooresville.
Oh. No. The only one I know of in North Carolina is the one over there in Roxborough and then the one up there in Rockingham.
Well, I know there's one in Charlotte, obviously. The big one.
Well, yeah, the one in Charlotte too. But no, it's as far as like your small ones, no, I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you what I told Crow. You can hate me all you want. You can want to punch me in the face all you want. If you want to drive me in a wall, drive me in a wall. But you do not talk to my drivers that way when I have nothing to do with it. Because Eric asked an honest question. Can you all stop arguing so I can concentrate on racing? And right after he said that is when you blew up. If you think my comment about calling you a pussy was offensive and you didn't like it, well, I'm sorry. But I wish every single time I got called a pussy, I could confront the person about it.
Pussy.
Yeah, but Fluff, you're probably the only person I've had issues with in the past that keeps calling me that, and I just ignore you.
I don't know. I just gotta lighten the mood up a little bit. That's all.
The only people, and I'll apologize to him because honest to God, did not hear him say that.
Brandon, you're a great competitor.
I heard you, and I heard Ghost. Okay, I heard your comment about calling me a pussy, and then all I heard was Ghost butt in and try to talk over me while I'm trying to confront you about what you said.
Not one for what you did too, by the way.
No, I heard. I had my headset on.
To be fair, you can't hear Snoko on your stream, so I don't know if it was because his voice ain't shared or if it was because everyone was talking over top of him, but you couldn't really hear him.
See, like I said, I didn't hear him. I will apologize to him, and I'll apologize to everybody for talking to him like that.
Quit the league because of you.
Well,
and 2 guys quit the race because of you. What am I supposed to do? This can't happen. I've taken blame for everything I did tonight. 3 times I brought it up when 3 times I shouldn't have. I should have just left it until after. That's my fault. Completely me.
It's in the moment, shit happens.
But you did run your mouth off to my drivers, and they had nothing to do with it. If Cole said something to you that I thought wasn't right, and that caused you to blow up, I'd be blaming him.
But it was you that said something that caused me to blow up.
What do you expect me to do?
I was not blowing up until you did that. I said we had an argument right there, okay? Because I bumped and run you, which is racing, but I bumped and run you, okay? And then what looked like to me, you tried to put me in the dirt, so I moved over. That was forced.
I was on 2 wheels, man.
Okay.
You if anybody should know, and I'm sure Fluff can agree, when you're on 2 wheels in a cup car, you literally have no control over your car. You can only hope for the best at that point. I know.
The
IndyCar turn. I know I got you. I know it looked like I got you, but I swear to you I was not. You can watch my broadcast. I was on 2 wheels.
And look, I believe you. That again, that's not why I was mad. You said, if I get up there, I'm gonna do to you what you did to me.
Well, I would have too.
Well, okay, I fully believe you. I do. And honestly, I'd expect it. I expect, and when somebody gets behind me, a bump and run. That's why I race so aggressive. I mean,
that's not how I look. If you bump and run me, I probably wouldn't even fucking care. If I'm being honest.
Bob,
I felt like you drove through me because that's. Watch my broadcast. Oh, hold on a minute.
According to what Cody said, he said he just watched Brandon's video and he said Bob forced 3 wide, then Brandon hit his bumper. Bob was forcing him down off the track and then slamming the back of Brandon, taking himself out. That's what he's seen from Brandon's video.
I mean, you yourself, Bob, both broadcasts are going to be different. We're going to see different things. We've talked about this since the beginning. Once we started back.
I think he's on the phone. I heard it go on the bridge thing.
Yeah, I heard it.
That's road course racing for you. Shit happens.
I'll wait for him to get back in here.
Yes, sir. I just said watch the swearing on his broadcast because Miss Crow asked for it, so then everybody went off. So I said everyone stop cursing or watch language.
Yeah. And I apologize to him too as well, since they were watching Bob's, mine, Goes. They were watching a couple different ones. And after the race, I called him. I said, "Hey man, I apologize for cussing. Y'all asked us to stop, but you know."
Right.
Oh,
I get it.
Back to the drag car when they're out there working at 11 something at night. We'd spend, when I had my late model, we'd spend out there 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you know,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
working on that thing, because they might have a race coming up this week, you know, this weekend. I mean, you can't wait till the day before to do it.
Especially if you got quite a bit of shit to do to it.
Oh yeah. There's been plenty of times where I got wrecked out or did a stupid mistake on the track or whatever, and tore the car up, and we brought it home and went to working on it that night. Got home at 12 o'clock, went to working on it. I went to school, came home, worked on it all week just to make the next race.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because my landlord had one, and he ended up grenading the motor, blew a freeze plug out of it, and then we fucking pulled it up on the trailer, took it home. As soon as we got it off the trailer, ended up pulling the motor out and pulling it apart and seeing what was wrong with it. Fucking thing was like 350 degrees by the time we got it home, and it's like a half-hour drive, 20-minute drive. And it's been sitting for a good 2 hours before. It's still so hot, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've blown a couple motors. We had to stick a new one in there so we could make the race the next night, because we would race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We would
really?
Yeah, we would be Orange County. No, sorry.
Like 3 different tracks at once.
Yeah, and it'd be like Orange County would be one, and then we go up to Rockingham, which that was Sunday. We go to Concord on Friday, Orange County on Saturday, and then drive up to Rockingham Speedway and race there on Sunday. So we would travel all over North Carolina in a weekend to race.
Right.
And we blown a motor, changed the motor, came home, changed the motor because the motor was at the shop, and then got back in the truck. Like we slept for a couple hours, got back in the truck, and then drove up to wherever we had to go.
And even if you don't finish it that night, you're basically like right there in the morning. Get a couple hours sleep, go right back at it before you.
Oh yeah.
Working on it as you're loading it on the trailer, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've done that. Hell, we went to Manassas, Virginia on Saturday night and drove all the way to Rockingham the next day to race that, and it was during the day, so we had to be up there early and be tired as hell, be out there racing.
Right.
That's how it is. Well, when you got a race car, it's all about the race car. That's all it is.
Yes, sir. And love of the sport and loving racing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And my landlord ended up selling his, so now we're focusing on like my drag car, getting that going, because it's been at least 8 years since I've had it running. That was my grandpa's before he passed, and now we got the motor just getting ready to be finished. It's been about a week or so left before the motor's done.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Except for the drag strip's closed over here. One that's kind of close to me, because it was seized because nobody made payments on it.
Oh yeah. There's a go-kart track out in not Rockingham, Orange County. So you had the speedway and then you had the go-kart track, and same thing happened to it.
Right.
And now you drive by it and the grass is all grown up and all that stuff. Which Orange County, the board of Orange County, like the governor and all that stuff, like they want to do away with all the racing. So They won't let the track. Yeah, they won't let the track advertise like on the street. They won't let them put signs out. If they want to do they can do it on the radio, but there's like I think they have to do the one like 94.7 out in Raleigh, like not like a little local. They can't do any like little local.
Out of country or out of county.
Yeah, out of county to advertise it, and so basically the car count there, the racing there is not what it used to be because they don't have the car count, and nobody wants to come because they've changed the rules and all that stuff. So and not a lot of people think they're still racing because I tell some people like, yeah, I'm going to Orange County Saturday, and they're like, bro, they're still open? I'm like, yeah, they're still open. Like, you're just
get
not
back to what we were doing.
There was hardly anybody in the stands. Yeah.
Trying to sit here and hash things out with you when I got people sitting here putting their noses where it don't belong. I just had to call Crow again to verify something, so I apologize.
You're fine.
What'd you say? No.
I don't even remember where we're at.
When everybody says there's a bump and run, Brandon. Let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
I wasn't on the gas. I felt like you were driving through me. Everybody and their mothers and their aunts. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Something behind me?
There was me walking making that noise. It could be the two houses that are still building.
Every time I walked, you said there was a bump. Now it's my shoes hitting the floor.
Yeah, me and Bob are hashing it out.
What's up, Carl?
Okay, well, I'm going to pause for a minute, Brandon. I got to ask this.
Okay.
This is going to be the attitude of me coming out. What in God's name, in the heavens that He created, Tyler, do you think you have anything to do with this situation? So, are you the owner of the BRS? Because if you are, let me know. The same consequence? Do you not even know why I'm at this point kicking Brandon out of the BRS? Do you have any understanding of that? I don't think you do. Because you're sitting here bitching to me about my part. Like Brandon's done nothing wrong. Like he's perfect. And like everything's my fault. Well, here's how I see it. If you ain't got nothing to frickin' do with it, then keep your nose out of it. And out of all due respect, yeah, and I'm on a 6-race probation, Tyler. When you said I should have 5. The odds are when I wake up tomorrow, I'm probably going to be on probation until the chase starts. Just a FYI. Because I'm making an example. Fluff, you there? Have I not always made an example out of myself when a problem arises?
No, you have.
This is coming from a guy who was part-time last year, who apparently has no problem with his wife running her mouth about me, and he sits there and he only watched 25 minutes of footage last night, or of tonight's race, at the end of Sonoma, when he didn't watch the whole thing. I'm just trying to find out where I should sit here and be listening to you, because you're not the owner of BRS. Your wife is running her mouth about me, which, whatever, I don't care. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, including your wife. And supposedly we're friends, but you don't have a problem with her running her mouth about me, which shows me that we're not as close as I thought we were. So I learned something tonight. And you said something on a phone that included somebody who I hold very dear to my heart, being Crow, and I had to call him to verify if he actually said that or not. You said, and I pray to God, I know you're going to deny it, you told me that Crow had called you, is that correct? And he had said something about shit hitting a fan or something along those lines, correct? And tonight's race between me and Brandon. Okay, so we're right so far. That I bitched for the last 35 minutes about a bump and run. That Bob, you did not mention Brandon's name when he told me on the phone. You didn't. Champ. Brandon, why can't we just deal with this ourselves?
I didn't invite none of these people in here.
Neither did I. I want you to know, Brandon, the only reason why I called Crow was because he's your best friend. And usually if I need to get a message to you about a race or a time or something like that, I usually go through him to make sure he gets it to you, because he talks to you more than anybody else in BRS does. Which I'm pretty sure that's correct, right?
Yes.
The only reason why I called him was to talk to him about you and me. I'm sure you can understand that calling Crow isn't a bad thing as far as this goes. He saw everything, he heard everything. His wife is very upset about the language used, which is completely embarrassing that everybody else was doing the same thing. I'm not innocent of it by no means. But hopefully you understand why I called Crow.
Oh, look,
I hated to involve him.
I
hated to involve him because he technically doesn't have anything to do with this. But because of your friendship, I felt that talking to Crow wouldn't be a bad thing. Plus, if I'm wrong and I need to be put in my place, Christian, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've done it before. Having a third wheel come in, hearing... The people who you're racing with, Tyler, if you only knew how many days and races and weeks I sat here and listened to people complain about you, and I stuck up for you, and I defended you day in and day out. Fluff can vouch for it. Oh, people are going to complain about me. People are going to complain about me. I don't give a shit if people complain about me. Do you not realize that I just moved in here and all I did today was internet issues because I've had internet issues at home? And I didn't have time to even do the CRL stuff until tonight when I normally do it during the day. You may not know this, Tyler, but I do have a life. Okay? I have a marriage and I'm trying to get better. I have a wife I'm trying to make happy. I have an internet that doesn't want to work. Thankfully, I got somebody coming tomorrow, Fluff. Thank you for asking. And I have other things in my life that I am trying to get in order. I've realized I put a lot into BRS, but my life isn't all BRS. There's two people in this room right now that know better than anybody else, that being Crow and Fluff, the struggles that I've gone through the last couple of months because I've called them on everything. And they both know what I've been through, and I'm trying to get my life in order, so I'm sorry, Mr. Mole, or Mool, however you say your last name. I'm sorry if I don't have that time to sit here and put you as my number one priority. I apologize. Please accept my apology. And I'm not being a smartass. If you wanted to race. See, you don't, when you talk, I'm noticing when you talk, you don't put in the details. I said, if you want to race, this is what I ask of you to do. Okay? Unlike you, after tonight's race, when I went off the air, and... well, nobody that's in this room was in here because nobody here raced with me because Brandon left. I apologize to everybody for my part. I took blame for what I did. I said I got mad that Brandon felt like he did a bump and run. I felt like he drove through me. I explained that to Crow. Did I not, Crow? That's why I was upset. Tyler, you have been in that position yourself many times where they said it was a bump and run and you felt like you were driven through. You're not always in the wrong. You're not.
He's taking responsibility.
Oh my God. For that part. You know what? Let's ask the one person in this room who's hated me the last 20 minutes. Brandon, have I or have I not taken responsibility for anything tonight?
I feel like you've taken responsibility, but I also feel that there maybe it went too far with me and words were said, and then I feel like I'm getting penalized the worst. Yes, I cussed everybody out. I will apologize to everybody. I will personally message everybody and apologize. Ghost included.
But you never put that post on Facebook about the whole championship thing. So how am I to believe that you're going to send messages to everybody? It's a great idea, and I'm all for it. But how do I know you're actually going to do it?
I'll make sure you're in the party with me. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow after I get off work. I don't have the PlayStation app on my phone.
There's no races tomorrow, so maybe what needs to happen, Brandon, is we need to talk separately without anybody involved. Because at this point right now, I don't want to kick you out of the BRS. If you send out those apologies and everybody's good with it, dude, I'll be the first one that welcome you back with a quick break. Promise you that, I'll be the first one in line. Do you remember what I told you, Brandon, about you running a BRL and why I wanted you in a BRL? There's 2 reasons. Do you remember either one of them?
I was a strong competitor, and...
Yep, that's one, because you brought the heat every single night. That's one. Because apparently some people think that I want an easy road when that's not the case. You remember the second reason?
Not really.
I've had an opportunity to do it 7 times. I wanted you to have an opportunity to defend your championship. That's called respect. I respect you enough to give you that opportunity. And I think you deserve it.
I appreciate it.
We can argue till the sun comes up, man, but I don't hate you. I never will. I told Crow tonight, Crow, correct me if I'm wrong, I even told Crow, I love Brandon like a brother and respect him a shit ton as a driver. That will never go away, Brandon. I always love you like a brother. But we have got to find a happy medium.
I don't...
Both of us. Crow was right. There's one thing Crow said, and Fluff will agree, I used to be the cockiest MFer that probably walked the earth when it came to online racing. Right, Fluff? Nobody was cockier than me, right?
Not that I know of.
I have calmed down a lot, Fluff. Would you agree? Quite a bit?
Quite a bit, yeah.
But there are times, yeah, I know, Fluff, you're getting ready to say it, I'll say it for you. There are times that every now and again I get that chip. I told Crow before New Hampshire race, every time I go to New Hampshire, yeah, I get cocky there. It's my best track. I plan on winning that every time I go there. Why wouldn't I be cocky? Brandon, if you have a best track, wouldn't you feel a little bit more chippier when you go to it? Knowing that the chances you winning are pretty high? I would.
I mean,
exactly.
I do.
I do that with New Hampshire and Martinsville. Those are the 2. Even with Talladega, I get chippy because I won there like 29 times. Okay, and Crow said something that I don't know why I didn't notice it, and I apologize to everybody in the world, including God and Jesus themselves, why I didn't notice it. But he said both you and Brandon are cocky. And I got to think about that. I'm like, I'm not as cocky as I used to be. That was my next statement. And I got to think about it on the ride home. And Crow's right. I still got a lot to work on. You know, Fluff will agree, yes, you've changed a lot. But, Fluff, there's still some work that needs to be done.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I know now, which I should have known before, maybe this is something I should have realized last year. Yeah, when I went in Monday night, dominated both races, I was completely shocked. I was in awe. I couldn't believe I'm not a road course racer. It's not what I do. When you and Crow went to Watkins Glen last year, dude, Crow used me to wipe the bathroom stalls at Watkins Glen last year. He used my face, he used my head, he used my whole body to clean the urinal. Crow whooped me there last year. You won the race, he was second, Devin beat me in third. This year I go there and I dominate the truck race, I dominate the Xfinity race. I never saw that coming. I swear to God, as God's my witness, I never did. So I'm in shock that I've won 5 of 6 races this week. It's completely ridiculous. But
and when I heard that you did that, so yes, I am a little cocky, sometimes more than most, especially when it comes to the road courses, because I am good there. But when I seen what you did, I did not, and it really doesn't happen at any other track either, road course or not. Do I go in, oh I got this, or I'm going, I got the fastest car, I'm going to win. No, I go in and it's you. It was Fluff when he was racing with us. Christian, because he has gotten better. There's been times on the track where I couldn't catch him. And honestly, look, that's great. That's great. I don't want to be out there walking the dog every race. I don't have to lead. Like, my goal is not to lead every lap. My goal is just to lead the last one. That's basically the only one I care about is the last lap. Because nothing's said and done until I cross the finish line. I haven't won the race until I crossed it. So when I came into the Watkins Glen race, I'm expecting you to be up there and me racing you for the win. Seeing and I say you as in, I'm not trying to single like say everybody else would not be up there or anybody else wouldn't, but I seen what you had did the past the past races this week. Well, he's going to be up there. He's done figured out the manual transmission, which I had one up on him last year. You know, he's going to be good. So I've got to make sure I bring my A game, because if not, I'm not going to win. I try not to be cocky. I really do, because I don't personally like really cocky people. I don't get along with them. But and Bob, I don't hate you. I haven't hated you the past 20 minutes like you said. I haven't. We had a disagreement. I did not like your comment, and anytime anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Christian or you or some dude off the street, I'm going to stick up for myself and snap back at you. And I'm going to make it known that I did not like it. And when other people butt into it, I take it out on them too, and then whoever else is there, because that's how I am. I've always been like that. Now, you can ask Christian this. For the past, before 3 or 4 years ago, it was 10 times worse. I was borderline an alcoholic at 21. Okay, I'm 27. Well, I'll be 27 this month. So I'd say the past, 3 years, 23 and up till now, I've changed a lot. I've worked on myself. My temper has calmed down. I do blow off a lot of stuff. And, so, but when stuff like that is said, I'm going to stick up for myself no matter what. Some stuff, it's just like it's not even worth my time. He didn't mean it. He's hot. Whatever, it's cool. But there's just certain stuff it still gets to me.
Well, calling you that is not something I do on a daily basis. You're obviously well aware of this. And that was said because I was heated. Fluff said it himself. And Fluff and I, if you've never heard an argument between Fluff and me, you can only imagine what's said between him and me.
I have.
But you know what we do? We call each other a couple hours later, and we're like brothers again. And that's what I want with you, Brandon. We got to find a happy medium, and I've worked on myself a ton. Man, you don't even know the half of what's going on in my life since I started racing. You don't know.
I don't claim to know.
The stuff that's hanging over my head. I don't talk a lot about this because it's not who I am and it's not what I did, but it's what the state charged me with. But there comes a lot of weight with that. You wouldn't know because you weren't stupid enough to put yourself in that situation like I did, right? That's not who I am, but I still put myself in that situation, right? So there's a lot of weight that comes with it, Brandon, where every day I have to have a pair of eyes on my back because people will kill people at that level. People will beat the crap out of them, kill them if they found out their life is short. Every day of my life, I have done nothing but thank God that I can open my eyes back up and see my wife and be able to race with you guys. So I'm trying really hard to not take life for granted. I'm trying really hard to enjoy every minute that I have that I'm alive. If Tyler's wife wants to sit there and waste her life for 20 minutes running her mouth about me when she could go do something that could better herself and better her life, then that's her choice. I don't choose to do that. You won't hear my wife doing it. Because she's and this is no offense to Tyler's wife, but my wife ain't gonna waste her time like that. She's too smart for that stuff. I'm not saying Tyler's wife isn't smart. I'm just saying my wife's not gonna do it. Well, either way, we've all got our struggles, right, Brandon? We know firsthand. That I've had more struggles in the last couple months than probably anybody else in this room put together.
And you have,
I've done that and. This racing week, going into Monday, was the first time I actually had a quote-unquote place to live since I was homeless. So a lot of the weight because I was in a neighborhood with Crips, with Bloods, they all lived there, gunshots every single night of the week. The worst part of this city that I could possibly live in is where I was at. I don't have that stress anymore. Because now I got a roof over my head. Now I'm not out in no trees. I'm not out somebody going to shoot me out in the woods. Nobody's going to know, right? So that took a lot of weight off my shoulders. And Star told me a long time ago to put my personal life aside and concentrate on racing when you're racing. And everything outside of racing, that's when you concentrate about your personal life. And if it wasn't for Star getting my head in that lane that I needed to be in, I don't know if we'd even still be racing right now. Star had a lot to do with why we're racing right now. That's why I love Sean to death. Okay, so I will apologize to you for the comment I made. It wasn't, well, I was mad and heated, and I'll tell you what I tell Fluff. When I'm not mad and I'm not heated, I'm trying to hurt your feelings, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. Does that make sense?
And
I'm not out to target your heart. I'm not out to target your personal life. I'm not out to target your friends or your family or anybody like that. It's not what I want to do, man. That's not who I am. I'm a better person than that. And every day that I carry all this weight over me, it's a struggle. Because I don't know what the other person on the other side of this door, there's a group of black people that live a couple of houses down there. They find out who I am. Who's to say I'm not going to die the next time I walk out of this house and get shot? Right? And if the day comes that I die, the last thing I want is problems with anybody. And this is why, Brandon, I've gotten on you about not being able to talk to you, and this is probably another reason why I made that comment tonight. And again, I'm absolutely sorry for it. Is because you, of all people, are harder for me to talk to than anybody. Everybody else I can just talk to and it's not a problem. You, it's like I gotta go through fucking hoops and circuses and do all these acts just to get to talk to you. And it's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to fight that hard to talk to somebody. But I do. Why? Because I love Brandon, and I want Brandon Lee to be one of my best friends, and I want him to race with me, and I want him to be there. Just like I'd be there for him. So that's why I've done it, and not really complain about it much. I don't have a problem putting some work into a friendship as long as I ain't doing all of it.
Gotcha.
Right?
Well,
so
you're right. Well,
I look at you. I mostly, because our friendship really isn't out of the racetrack. Most of it's on the racetrack, and we're both hotheads. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah.
We both are known to have attitude problems. Fluff, be quiet. We're both known to be cocky. We both basically have said that. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm going to do one thing at a time here, okay? The incident of you behind me, I felt like I was being driven through. I wasn't on a gas, and I was about 5% on the brake. And you were just right there doing it, okay? According to you, according to Crow, and just about everybody else has told me, it was a bump and run.
Yeah.
Okay? I think we just need to say, well, you say it's a bump and run. I say you were driving through me. Let's just let it go. Because I can't apologize to you for how I feel about it. Because I feel like you drove through me.
Look, I'm good. I'm good with leaving it like that. And I apologize that is how you feel. I need you to know that I wasn't, and I'm sorry for that's how you feel about it. That's, you also know that it's not how I race. I do drive aggressive, but I don't intentionally just run through people. Back to what you had said earlier. The reason why, well, let me start over. When all that stuff came out, when Dreamweave did what he did and told everybody about your whole situation, that was none of my business. It was none of his business to tell, but it's none of my business. It's not my job to judge you for your mistakes. It's not, and I don't. I'm actually happy that you're repairing stuff with your wife and you're not living in the woods and all that stuff. Seriously, I am.
I believe it.
So.
Not as happy as me, but I believe it.
I can't be as happy as you, but I am happy that you're not homeless anymore and you have a roof over your head. And when all that stuff started, I mean, I stayed regardless of the situation. I mean, I stayed.
Well, he's also the one that got me banned from Facebook.
Yeah, well, yeah, I kind of figured.
I got proof of it. I didn't tell you guys this, but I got proof of it a couple weeks ago, so he's the reason why.
I kind of...
Dreamweaver.
I kind of figured
So
he probably
anyway,
had something to do with it.
I need to do it this way, Brandon. Let's not talk about personal shit. I don't want to do that. That's not what this is
That
about.
that's cool.
The,
I'm cool.
this
I'm
is
just
right.
touching on what you
I get
touched
it.
on.
Brandon, I don't doubt for a single second that you don't respect me, that you don't appreciate the opportunities I've given you as a race car driver virtually. I don't think you hate me. I don't think that you want to, I mean, you may have moments that you want to punch me in the face, but overall you don't want to punch me in the face. I mean, it's the heat of moment. So we can say that instance where I feel like you drove through me, you feel like it was bump and run, don't need to apologize, because I'm going to tell you, and this is the Bob in me, Fluff knows it, I'm not going to apologize for how I feel. I feel like you drove through me, and that's that. You feel like you gave me a bump and run, that's how you feel, that's that. I'm good with it if you are. We can just let it go.
I'm
There's
good
no
with
apologies needed for either one of us. Okay?
I'm good. I'm good with it.
Basically, as you put, quote unquote, basically calling me a pussy, Brandon, deep down as a friend, I don't think anybody in this room is a pussy. Except maybe Prowler. He talks a big game, but he can't back it up. And I'm being serious. Okay? Fluff, I know, for example, if Fluff's ready to go at any moment. He doesn't care with who, he doesn't care where. He will defend himself and everything that he believes to the day he dies. You know, Tyler's got a wife, he's got, 9 children on 4 legs. He'd probably defend everything in his life. He'd defend everything in his life for what he believes until his last breath.
My stuff, huh?
I know for a fact, without even knowing Crow the way you know, that Crow would give up his life if it meant that his wife and his kid could live a happy one.
Oh yeah, no,
okay, and I know
doubt.
Prowler is kind of a puss, but I know he'd fight for his family. I know he'd fight for his papa and his grandma. I know he would. So, you know, it hurts me that. Give me a minute. It bothers me, and I'm sorry I'm emotional, but it bothers me that you would think that the true me, who I am right now, would even think anything like that of you. I said what I said out of heat, out of anger. I was very upset with what you said at Watkins Glen. Now that's my fault because I allowed what you said to get to me, right? And that stemmed over to Sonoma. And Fluff knows, you guys know, I've said 100 times, what happens in one race stays in one race. That's my fault. I allowed what you said at Watkins Glen to bother me at Sonoma. Okay, so I am absolutely sorry that if I made you feel like I was heavily expressing that you were in your words, a pussy or weak in any way, shape, or form. I am absolutely 110% apologetic and sorry that I made you feel that way. That was not what I was trying to do. I was trying to piss you off, but not. I mean, you keep talking about it, so obviously it bothers you a lot more than I thought it would.
Well,
and I can't apologize enough for it. I am sorry. And you have got to believe, Brandon, that no matter what the heat of the moment is and what we're arguing about, I think the world of you, man. I mean, you show up every night and support me. You show up every night and support the series. You know, it's just like with Tyler. Some of these guys that you race with don't think as high about you as you think they do. And I don't bring that to your attention because it's really none of my business. But because I'm the series owner, because I'm the league moderator, I hear it. I heard it about Tyler for I don't know how many weeks. Fluff even knows I've talked to him about some of it. Well, I've talked to Fluff about everything, let's be honest. I don't hide much from him. And Fluff knows that I've defended Tyler up and down 100 times over. If Tyler only knew the half the times that I've defended him, he probably wouldn't think about me what he's thinking right now. And the same goes for you, Brandon. There's a lot of guys that you race with that think you're cocky. They think that you're, well, to be blunt, sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes an asshole. And, you know, people like Crow, they're not one of them, because Crow understands you, right? He knows you. He knows who you are. And talking with you, and the more we talk, Brandon, I don't know if you've noticed, but our friendship gets stronger because we learn more about each other.
We do.
You know, I know some about your past history that you're not proud to talk about, but the fact that you can shows that you're willing to accept the fate of the mistakes that you've made. And dude, you're talking to somebody. I don't have to tell you, Brandon, the mistakes I made. You know one of them, and it's a big one. And you know, I live with it every day of my life. Except in my case, I could get shot at just walking outside. You know, and nobody's gonna have hard feelings over it. You know, except for the people who love me the most. And with you, because you're an alcoholic, or you were, or just about, there's not really a choice or chance that you're going to walk out your door and somebody's going to say, hey, he was an alcoholic and put a bullet in your head. That's not going to happen. Let's be honest. You know?
Maybe not over that reason, but yeah.
You know, I love and appreciate who you are, Brandon. I love the fact that any time a human being, man or woman, or in Fluff's case, a transvestite, can stand there and openly say, hey, this is who I used to be. I made so many mistakes. I can't believe I've done it. I really need to fix myself. I need to be a better person. Dude, I love that person just for saying it. Because it takes a lot to admit what you've done wrong. It takes a lot to admit who you really are. And who you were. And who you want to be. And I admire you for that, Brandon. I think you're a good kid. I do. The competitive level is you know, like Fluff said last night, he's like, well, I think you might win both tomorrow. Yeah, but Brandon's going to be there. Did I not, Fluff? I've been telling everybody all week, yeah, but Brandon's going to be there. But Brandon's going to be there. That's what I've been telling everybody. I know you won Watkins Glen last year, and I figured you'd probably win Sonoma, but Brandon's going to be there. You know, you don't run Mondays and Tuesdays. My life would have been a lot more difficult if you had on online racing. I know it. I know if you ran a Watkins Glen races, you probably would have been the first guy that I had to beat. Not saying everybody else sucked or anything, but I know how good you are there.
Yeah.
You know, and so I respect that, and I'm glad you weren't, because I won those races. I had 4 in a row in CRL sucks because we're going into Martinsville next week and I want to make it 5, but you know, I am sorry, Brandon. I just, it hurts my feelings knowing that I made you feel that way about that. And that upsets me with myself, and I'm sorry, man. I don't know what else to say besides I'm really, really sorry. And I was heated. I was in the moment. And you're better than that. I don't think that you are, in your words, a pussy, or I don't think you're weak in any way. I mean, we're all weak some way, right? Like, my love for my wife can make me weak.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'd do anything for her, so I'd be weak towards something else.
We're not everybody's Superman. I mean, we all have weaknesses. So I mean,
we all can be Batman. Just saying.
Huh?
Superman has weaknesses.
Oh, shut up. We didn't ask you.
But so look, we're good. We're good. I'm not gonna carry this over. Me and you have settled. You know, this right here. You did not. I want to make it clear. I'm sure you know, but you did not call me a pussy. You called me a chicken. In my eyes, it's the same thing. But you know,
one feels better than the other. I'm just saying.
It does. It does. One tastes better than the other too.
You might think the chicken feels better, but that's just love.
But you know, we're good. And what I will do is, and to be honest with you, I mean, I didn't think, you know, everybody thought, you know, highly of me. I'm not. I'm definitely not that cocky, and I'm not. That's not my personality. But you know, I didn't believe that, you know, really had any issues with, you know,
people don't have issues with you. It's just to them sometimes you come off a little cocky or asshole-ish. Not all the time, but sometimes. Like when you made the comment, I'm just cruising. A lot of people took that as you're being cocky, like, oh, he doesn't have to try. It's that easy for him to where he ain't going to try. That's how people were looking at it. That's how I looked at it. Because that's something I would have said back in the day. If Fluff's sitting in second place, Fluff's like, oh, I gained 2 seconds. Yeah, but I'm not even driving hard right now.
I got
that's
you.
What the old me would have said.
And that's not how I meant it. Like, truly, honestly, that's not how I meant it. It was more of, you know, like I'm not even pushing it because I don't want to mess up. Because if I push it, I will mess up. I am not perfect. I didn't want to throw the race away because I had such a big lead on me driving in a turn so hard. And
that race was easy for you because of me. Because I screwed up. I don't know. I can't remember who was beside me, but I screwed up there in the carousel right after the bus stop. That was all me. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Was it Devin?
And then, the second stage 2, Devin took me out. Devin just flat out took me out.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. Somebody T-boned you. Who was it?
Oh, Devin T-boned me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Sideways before Devin even got to me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I lost stage 1 because of me. I lost stage 2 because of Devin. And I did and by the time I got to second, you were already setting sail. I mean, with a short race like that, you can only gain so much time. And whether you were cruising or not, there's no way in hell I'm going to get to you because that's too far at that track with what 4 laps, 5 laps by the time I get to second.
Yeah.
So I mean, I gave the stages away, and I gave one stage away, and I couldn't do much about the race because I had damage from Devin, so I had to start last again.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to do.
And it's the same. It's the same at Sonoma, but it was me. I messed up. That was all me. That was not one driver getting into me. That was me coming out the turn. Got too impatient. Like you said at the beginning, you have to have patience and you have to finesse the track. I was not doing that. That was me. I messed up, and I took myself out of the 2 stages. Now, when we were talking about the points issue, which is not that doesn't bother me, but
well, I shouldn't have said that. I really shouldn't have, because after I said it, I'm like, boy, if he doesn't feel like shit now, I don't know what he'll feel like. That's 110% me. Now, Fluff, when Tyler says I'm not taking responsibility, please remind him of this. I said that. I know you are. That's why I'm saying it. When I said that, I was heated too. I mean, I know that's the common excuse for me, right? I'm heated, but when I'm heated, Fluff knows I just run my mouth and it goes on for more than 30 seconds. And that you should know, Brandon, because we've had a couple powwows now.
I got you.
I said that to get you even more fired up. That was the whole purpose of me saying it, was to piss you off. Straight up. So that was before you even say anything. I don't want to hear about it. I am absolutely sorry. That comment about points should have never been made. That's, as a moderator, it's embarrassing. As a league and series owner, it's embarrassing that I did that. It's one of the, I figured you'd probably bring that up because that was pretty stupid for me to say, let's be honest. So without talking about it anymore, I only said that to piss you off even more. It's the only reason. You were 12th in points coming in because you're that good. Because for the number of races you raced, you versus Raymond or you versus Relic, they wouldn't have been in the top 12 that quick. And that's no offense against those two, because I love those 2 guys to death, and they try. I mean, they put in 110% effort every night, and you can't blame them for that. But you have more of a habit of running up front, so getting more points for you is going to happen. So I was impressed with the fact that you got into the top 12 as quick as you did. So I apologize for the point talk. It was stupid. It's childish at Sesame Street level, and I'm sorry about that.
We're good. We're good. I mean,
this is what I like to have happen. Okay. Now, I'm gonna pull a power card here, and I'm gonna give you the Sonoma one, because I mean, you did earn it. I'm gonna do that, and the only thing I plan on you running next Wednesday, okay? But I hate to do this because this is a page out of the cash and checks book, but you're gonna have to apologize for those guys for talking to them like that.
I got you. I will.
But here's the thing. Ghost is on a probation for the next 2 BRL races, just next Wednesday night. Okay?
Gotcha.
I'm on probation for at least 6, and I think that's probably where I'm going to keep it. Okay?
Okay.
You've got to at least get a probation out of this. It's what's fair.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
So, well, I think you would be good with it considering you get a probation instead of being kicked out entirely. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll put you back in, and you'll race Wednesday no matter what, and I'll give you the Sonoma win. I'll have to go back through my pictures because I took you out of all the stages and out of the finishing order. So you will get your points, which I'll still end with the most points for the night, so I guess I can't complain about that too much. And I'll give you both, well, you get Watkins Glen it is what it is, you get that, but I'll give you the Sonoma win, and wherever you finish in stages, you'll get those points. Okay?
Right.
So you have to give me a little bit more time to do the BRL stuff because I have to go back in my book and white out that and whatever.
You take your time.
So if I'll do that for you, and the only thing I want in return is just keep supporting me, keep doing what you're doing. Let's try to be better towards each other. Maybe that's more pointed towards me than you, which is fine. And I apologize for my part. I do want you to race. I do want you to be a part of this because, if I win a championship in the BRL this year, I want to know that I beat you to do it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that would, and hopefully Tyler can race because I do, as much as Tyler gets underneath my skin sometimes, I love Tyler to death and his 9 kids he's got on 4 legs and his wife. They're part of our family. I don't care what she says. She can run her mouth all night long. I still love her to death because she's a part of the BRS family because she's Tyler's wife. I'm not even going to take any word that she said tonight even to heart. I don't give a shit what she said. So, and I just want you there. I want to race. I want the competition. Fluff knows that back in the day, I would not be changing my mind about this, would I, Fluff?
No.
The reason why I wouldn't.
Out so you can beat them all.
Yep. The only reason why I wouldn't do it back then, Brandon, was so that way my wins could come easier. Yeah. And I'm trying to show people that I want the competitive level, but with Fluff, before Tyler says anything, the thing with Fluff is just so damn good, and he's so. I mean, you don't have anything for him, Brandon. I mean, Fluff is literally physically on another level. There's no question about it, because he's that freaking good. You know, if he doesn't win the Xfinity, the ETL, URL championships on Friday night, I will be shocked. Because he's the best driver in both those leagues without a shadow of a doubt. I got nothing on Fluff. There were days I used to beat Fluff, but not anymore. Fluff's whooping my ass.
Until the last 5 laps. Until the last 5 laps, Fluff.
That's only in Kansas.
Yes, sir. That's it.
So you do, and I want to make sure that I don't care how you do it, Brandon. If you could just let me know somehow, some way, okay, that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right. I know Ghost and Star are 2 people who were really upset with it all. So those are 2 people I put first and second on your list. We'll do something. I think what's fair is, let me ask you this question, Brandon. Do you have a problem? Because I always make an example out of myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a problem joining me and make an example out of you?
I mean, I'm good with it. I mean,
you okay with that? So if I put you on you don't run the whole BRS. So how about I do, because I'm doing 6 races through the whole series.
Okay.
Are you good with 4 because you only run a BRL? Are you good with the last 4 before the chase?
I'm good with it. I'm not saying
You'll
that
be on probation for all 4.
Yeah. I'm not saying I shouldn't get
Charlotte,
some kind of
New Hampshire, Darlington.
Yeah, I'm not saying I shouldn't get a, not get in trouble for what I did, because the cussing was uncalled for. It was, and cussing at them. I shouldn't have done. If anybody I should have been cussing at, it should have just been you. But I also took it out on them. So, and we had already said, and before, like during the race, to quit watch the language. And I just said to hell with that.
Said that. Mrs. Kakal was the one that said that.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, it was said, and it said before anybody or before we even raced that people were broadcasting. Keep it PG-13. Make the jokes, but keep the language to a minimum. We all have a slip up here and there, but and I at that moment I said, screw that. I'm saying what I gotta say, and so yeah, look, I'm good with it. The full race probation, I'm good with that. If that's I'm
doing this intentionally, of course, but before Tyler says anything about it, let it be noted that I'm getting a 6 race probation to Brandon's 4. Ghost is only going to get 2. So I am getting more races of probation than Brandon is. Do I think I should? No, but I'll tell you why I am. Because I brought it up 3 times. 3 times I could have not said nothing. The first time cost me 2 races. The second time cost me 2 races. The third time cost me 2 races. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Hell, because I think you should take 5 points off too as well.
Shut the fuck up. So I'm getting a 6 race probation. Brandon will get one effective immediately in the BRL. And then we'll get Prowler. Can you shut the F up, please? I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna change the points or results or anything from what they were. So I guess looking back now, Brandon, even though I asked you to leave, it's probably a good thing you didn't. I will give you the win. The only reason why I'm giving you the win, though, isn't because you had the best car or anything. I'm giving you the win. Well, technically you won. According to the game, you won, right?
Yeah.
But the only reason why I'm giving you that race back is a sign of good faith to you, saying, hey, I know I messed up. You're admitting you messed up. Let's just move on from this.
I'm good with it. Let's do it. And what I'll do is...
Yeah, you could definitely go talk to them, though.
I will.
And just know, this goes for anybody in this room. Anybody talks to my drivers like that. If you're mad at me, take it with me. But if you talk to the other drivers who have nothing to do with it that way, I'm going to put the hammer down. That's one quick way to piss me off. So Brandon, please don't do it again.
Yes, sir.
We had a problem with each other, and that's where it should have stayed.
Yep, and I took it too far, and that I own up to that. That's my fault.
I love you, man. You are a good dude. There ain't nothing, you know. Just we're the Kyle Busch and Joey Logano's of the BRS, I guess, or the BRL anyway.
As long as I'm Kyle Busch, because I can't stand no Joey Logano.
Yeah, I think Kyle Busch would have probably done what you said more than what Joey Logano will. So yeah, we'll give it the Kyle Busch title.
I don't like Kyle Busch.
Not that I want to take the Logano title, but I guess it is what it is.
But I meant, he's coming back for a Wednesday race.
Oh, no, that ain't happening. And I'll just put this out there. I've said it a lot. I'm going to race you how you race me. Devin's got one coming. I mean, I'm not going to take him out like you did me, but if I need to move him for a spot, I'm not going to hesitate. If you watch my broadcast tonight, you will tell that I blocked the living hell out of him. And he tried to take me out once, and I made sure he didn't.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, look,
He just was not doing the road course all week.
I am.
He was strong at Sonoma. I mean, he was good.
He may be strong, but he's running people.
I will say, Bob, if you know, the bump and run and the rubbing, none of that bothers me. So if you want to bump and run me or rub me or lean on me, whatever, I'm good with it. That does not bother me. That's how I race. I mean, I try not to do it so aggressively. It does sometimes I get a little aggressive with it, but like if I'm leading the race or leading the stage, whatever, and you're behind me, and definitely for the win, I'm going to try and block you. So if you move me out the way, I'm cool with it. Hell, Fluff, daggone brake check me on the backstretch at Dover. I'm good with it. Bro, I'm good with it. I am. Bro, that's racing. That's something I probably wouldn't have been as successful at it, but that's something I would have done. Maybe like let off the gas a little bit, let you run into me, and keep going. Again, I probably would not.
You would have been around that corner.
I would have been around that corner. I would have been around that corner. Yes.
Okay, this is what I'm doing.
I got called out.
Because something in my stomach just don't feel right.
Love you too, bud.
I added you back, Brandon.
Alright.
So what I'm posting right now is that tonight's results from Sonoma are unofficial, but results from Watkins Glen are official. And I'm going to think about if there's anything else I want to do to you and me. Because even though Tyler can sit there and say, oh, you take it easy on yourself and all this crap you just told me on the phone before, that was nothing but complete horse poo. Nothing but complete horse poo. I may or may not do a point deduction tomorrow, and you're okay with that too, right?
I'm okay with a point deduction, yes.
Well, it's not really going to affect you much, but it's going to affect me a lot. So this is an opportunity for me to prove that I could either favor myself and not take points away, or I can make another example out of it. I mean, we're on our probations, which I feel are fair. Part of me doesn't feel like a point deduction's fair, but I'm gonna sleep on it.
I say something since I've been listening to this whole conversation.
Why wouldn't you say something? It's what you do.
I think either of you guys need a points deduction. Instances in races that have blown up way worse.
Yeah, we were just fucking around with that.
Alright, but Fluff, you know I try to make an example out of me, Fluff. You know that. You know I try.
No, get that,
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
It's a little too much.
Races, that is plenty. You gave Brandon back his win.
It's a little too much taking points away for.
I mean,
Yeah, you don't need to be taking points away for you guys having to, like real NASCAR drivers do with their crew chief about
Crow.
something happening out there.
Because I've had worse than that, and I've only got probation, so. Like I literally took somebody out on purpose.
Yeah, but see, it's my thing is, everybody thinks I do shit to favor myself. I mean, I still hear people sitting there saying, oh, you're doing this to favor yourself. You're doing that to favor yourself. I mean, what can I possibly do to show people that it's not about favoring me?
Okay.
I mean, if I wanted to win easier, Brandon wouldn't be back. I mean, so taking points away from me would prove, well, Bob knows he's got a lot to do with the regular season championship. He could possibly win it. But if he takes points away from himself, he's probably not going to win it now. I mean, because people like you will still sit there and call me where they're old ladies bitching in the background saying things that may consist of me favoring myself when I'm definitely not. Nothing to do with you.
Hit the fan.
Well, you could have just let me and Brandon talk it out and see what happened tomorrow. But instead, you chose to call me and bitch me out. Why do you think I hung up on you? I ain't gonna listen to it. I'm not gonna listen to your wife complaining about me when she doesn't even. I don't even race with her.
Would have been on the or I would have been going around to a driver. Like I'm glad I talked to Fluff. I am. So much more respect for Fluff.
But, and I think Fluff will agree, I'm way more lenient than everybody else is. If you have a fight with me, I'm more willing to forgive you than anybody else. Why? Why do you think I do that, Tyler?
Because he cares.
Like with Brandon. Everything in Prowler knows how upset I was because after the broadcast went off the air, dude, I couldn't stop talking because I was so pissed. I was absolutely irate with Brandon, more than you'd ever believe.
Mr. Ghost.
But you know why? You know why I'm forgiving? Because no matter what, Brandon is a part of our brother.